you think that music influences fashion, or does fashion influence the music scene?
I think fashion definitely influences music, and I think the other way around just as much. I think that they kind of go hand in hand. I mean, from like interviews and articles and stuff I've read of major fashion designers, music is usually one of the top probably 3 things that they're inspired by. And as a musician, as a singer and an entertainer, putting on an outfit puts you in the mood. It gets you in that space to put on a show. It inspires you. It makes you feel sexy or feel powerful or feel invulnerable or whatever the emotion is that you're trying to get across. The way you're dressed and styled has a lot to do with that.
I'm thinking about the outfit you wore in Idol with Kiss, like those giant shoulder wings. I don't even know how to.
It was amazing. That was a great opportunity to really play dress up for the entire country. And I remember as I got it all on, when we were putting it together, I remember walking out onto the stage and going, this is something that I would totally wear in a nightclub that I've worn before in various pieces, and I just can't believe I'm getting to wear this on television now. The shoulder cage rhinestone things were from the EC2 costume shop in Los Angeles, which is like an old warehouse full of movie wardrobe and Vegas show wear, and it's run by Mama, who's a famous drag queen in Los Angeles, who's an old friend of mine. And I got up on the phone, I was like, Mama, remember those shoulder cages that so-and-so wore at that one show? I need them. So we got those, and there was an alligator kind of armor type vest thing that we got from a designer, and those boots that I was wearing, the platform glitter boots, were my own.
They were yours.
Yeah, I ran home to my apartment and I got them out.
Oh, that is awesome.
So, I mean, it was a real nice opportunity to kind of like do my thing for the public. And, you know, when I heard it was Kiss, I was like, well, I have to have platforms. I can't be up next to these guys like a foot shorter than them. That's gonna look ridiculous. Then I remember Gene Simmons actually tried to talk me out of wearing the boots. He was worried that I was gonna fall, but I just think he wanted to be taller than me.
Yeah, you had experience wearing those boots.
And I told him, I said, Gene, I assure you, I'm gonna be fine. These have seen way crazier situations than right now.
Yeah, that's really amazing to get to actually express yourself both musically and
I mean, I personally think that it is a complete package. Yeah. I mean, I think it depends on the type of artist you are, of course. I mean, there's certain artists where their appeal is more of that guy next door or the girl next door, and it's not necessarily about doing, you know, experimental or really vivid fashion choices. It's more about being accessible and being, you know, traditional, and I respect that as well. I think it has to reflect who you are and what kind of music you're doing.
Did your style always come out, like when you were in high school, would you still describe yourself as glam, chic, playful?
I hadn't quite figured all that out yet in high school. I think I was wearing Banana Republic in high school, which at the time, comparatively, I was like, well, this is really nice.
What brought out this kind of development in fashion? Was there any one moment or?
You know, I think I always liked looking at it. I think I always liked the expression of clothing and dress up and all that. And from the theater, which is my background, you know, it's all costume. So as somebody as a consumer just buying clothing, I'm always attracted to things that are a little more theatrical or a little bit special, the things that aren't so typical. And into my 20s, I started kind of wanting to express that and wanting to dress up more. And I did a production of Hair in Europe in 2003. So I was young. I think I was like 22, if I'm doing the math right. And I was in Berlin, Germany. So there was a lot available to me as far as, you know, more alternative fashion. And I dyed my hair and I started wearing leather and crazy, you know, shirts and jackets and gloves. And I think that's where I really started getting into that more alternative kind of glam, goth, punk thing, which is still kind of with me today.
It's interesting you mentioned Berlin and just your environment is inspiration. What inspires you fashion-wise? Is it people, designers, just where you are in your life?
It's probably, I mean, mostly it's other people, I think. You know, when you're in especially at an early age, when you go to Europe and you're a Southern California boy and all of a sudden you're in Berlin, there's so much to look at and there's so much that changes your perception. And I saw people walking around on the street just looking amazing. Europe in general, I mean, it's a big eye-opener for fashion, I think. So yeah, I mean, I'm affected by my environment, the people, and then my own kind of urges, my own impulses, you know.
Are your musical influences also people who inspire you?
Definitely.
Fashion-wise?
Yeah, definitely. I think like some of my main influences as far as male artists go are artists from the 70s and the early 80s, and that's kind of where my fashion inspiration kind of lies. You know, people like David Bowie and Adam Ant and Mick Jagger and Prince and Michael Jackson. Like, these guys are the guys that really took chances with fashion. You don't really see it as much these days. People, like men, really expressing themselves with fashion. So I think it's something that I hope to help perpetuate.
Well, I think that's what's so exciting about your rise right now, is that you really are expressing yourself fashion-wise.
I try, yeah. At least in that kind of glam rock sensibility, that's what I mean. I mean, there's tons of expression of different types of fashion, but my aesthetic is one that it's glam, it's theatrical, it's shiny, it's sparkly, it's fun.
Well, thank you so much for talking with Pop Couture today.
Thank you.
We loved having you.
Thanks for having me.
We look
Appreciate
forward
it.
to seeing all the awesome stuff you do.
Me too. I'm excited.
Can't wait.
It's a great opportunity to play dress up and entertain people.
You can't beat it, right?
No, this is what I wanted to do my whole life.